So today we're back in our showroom in Ringwood, and we're downstairs on our Monolith display that we've got here. We've recently taken delivery of some Monolith Kamado ovens, and here we have a Monolith Classic Pro Series 2, which is an amazing Kamado oven. Today I'm going to be unboxing this, putting it together and reviewing it for you. So if you're looking at getting a Kamado oven, you want to know a little bit more about it, stick around and we'll jump into this video. So like I said before, we've just taken delivery of quite a few different size Kamado ovens. There's 4 different size ovens in the range. You've got the Icon, which is the smallest one, and then you've got the Junior, which is the next size up. There's actually a Junior here. This is a Monolith Junior. You then have the classic size, which is this one here, and you then have the Le Chef, which is another size up from that. So we have one of each here, which we will be putting on display. We've currently just got the Junior and the Classic, but I will be unboxing the Le Chef and the Icon as well. So if you want to come down and see any of those, we will have everything here. We've got quite a few of the accessories here as well, you know, like the pizza stones, the rib racks, hats, smoking pellets, the fire plates, and quite a few other things as well. So firstly, you know, if you've got any questions on any of these, just stick a comment down in the below, and we'll do our best to try and answer any questions that you may have. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead, I'll put it into time lapse, fast forward, I'll cut this all open, get it out, lay everything out, and then we'll start putting it together and we'll start talking about it. So there we go, that's everything unpacked out of the boxes. I've put all of the boxes here. All of the things that were inside. You get a lot of boxes inside the Kamado and boxes within the bigger box. I've taken those all out, everything out, put it over there. So the next step is to put the legs onto this Kamado. Now this is very heavy, it's about 85 kilos. I'm going to try and do this by myself, but if you're doing it at home, I would definitely recommend getting someone to help you because it is incredibly heavy. Just worth noting as well, you do get these little stainless steel caps that go on top of the legs here. So, and they are in a packet that comes in the boxes. So just don't forget to put those on while you're putting the legs on, because if you get it on beforehand and then remember to put them on, you've got to take it all apart to get them on. So just remember to put those on as you are attaching the legs. So as you can see, that was a little hair raising earlier on when I was trying to put that together. I nearly lost control of it, but it's put together now. So it's on its wheels. It wheels about like this. Once it's on its wheels, it's very, very easy to move it around. So what I'll do now is I'll take all of these out of their boxes, all of the bits and pieces. I'll lay them out, go through them all, and then we'll start putting it back together and putting them into the Kamado. So that's all the accessories unboxed now. We've taken it all out of their individual boxes, and I've laid them all out here for you to see. As you can see, there's a lot of accessories that come with it as part of the, so this is the Monolith Classic Pro Series 2. There is a basic version as well, which doesn't have as many as these, but with the Pro Series, these are all the things you get with it, which are really, really good. A lot better than some of the other competitors out there on the market. So what I'll do now is I will go through and I will show you how they go into the Kamado. I'll do it here so you can see it nice and easily, and then once I've done that, we'll actually chuck it in the Kamado. Okay, so now I will run through how all of these pieces go into the Kamado, the order that they go in. I know when you first open up the box and you take all the bits out, it can be quite daunting knowing what goes where, but it's really quite simple. So I'm going to run through that now and just show you how it's done. So the first thing to go in is part of the smart grid system, and that is this. This goes in first. So this is the ash tray at the bottom. It's a stainless steel bowl tray, and that collects any ash that comes down. You'll notice also that it has this outlet here. So that, when you're putting it in, you want to line up with the vent down here on the Kamado. And what that does is that allows airflow to come in, but it also allows you to use this ash shovel. So when you want to take the ash out, you can literally push that in, take the ash, take it out as and when you need to. So that's the first thing that goes in. The second part to go in are the ceramic firebox. So this is probably the most important part of the Kamado itself. So once that Kamado gets up to heat and starts holding the temperature, these once they get to the right temperature, then hold the heat, and they will hold it for hours and hours and hours. They're incredibly efficient, so you really don't need to use much charcoal at all for a long cook. You know, if you're slow cooking some pork or some brisket or something like that, this will go for hours and hours and hours on really quite a small amount of charcoal, and it's because these are so efficient at holding the heat and keeping it inside the Kamado. So that's your firebox in there. On top of that, you then have your fire ring. So that literally extends the height of the firebox, so that's ceramic as well. You'll notice at the front here you've got the cutout, and that lines up with this chute here that's on your Kamado. And the reason for that is that you can use this, which is used for inserting wood chips. So you can get wood chips that are oak or apple or beech or hickory or cherry or something like that. And what you would do is you put those chips in there, put them through the chute, close that in, they will go into the coals. As soon as they hit the coals, they start to smolder and start releasing the smoke and that flavor then hits the meat, and that gives it the smoke ring, and that gives it that really barbecuey, lovely flavor. It's absolutely beautiful. So that's what that's for. So once you've got your smoke ring on, your fire ring, sorry, the next thing to go in is your charcoal basket. This is the charcoal basket here. It has got a divider in it as well, which you can take out. So normally you would put that in there. Again, lining up, you'll notice it's got the cutout there. You would line that up with the hole. So if you're doing a long cook, you might fill that up with charcoal, and you wouldn't have the divider in there. If you wanted to do some direct and indirect cooking at the same time, you could put this divider in here. That splits the basket in half, so you can just have charcoal on one side and you're only cooking direct on one side. So you could slow cook your steak on one side and then move it over and sear it above the coals. So that's your charcoal basket in. The next thing to go in is the next part of, oh sorry, I completely forgot, before the charcoal basket and before your firing is this cast iron grill here. This goes on top of the your stainless steel bowl at the bottom. It's got holes in it, and it allows airflow to come up through there so you can regulate the temperature, but it also has holes in it that allow the ash to drop through into the ashtray below. So that goes in after the firebox. That goes in there. Then you've got your ash basket that goes, your charcoal basket that goes in there. Right, so once you've got that in, you put the next part of the smart grid system in, which is this, and that literally sits on top of the fire ring there. So once you've got that on there, you then use these, which are your deflector plates. Now these are very important. So these go in like that, and they literally, they sit just on top of the charcoal. So if you are slow cooking something and you do not want to sear your meat or anything like that, you put these deflector plates in, and that absorbs all of the direct heat that's coming from the charcoal, and it deflects it around, and then it creates that oven, that convection effect. So it turns it from a searing situation into a oven situation. So it's purely for slow cooking, indirect cooking. You can, if you want to, just use one. So obviously, if you've got one side above your coals, that is indirect cooking, and one that's direct cooking, you can have half and half. So very, very clever. Okay, so those are your deflector plates. Once your deflector plates go in, you then put your drip trays in. These are very clever. They actually clip together like that, and that stops any juices coming through onto your deflector plates. So they go in there. That's the next thing that goes on. And then the last thing to go on will be your grid. And that simply, oops, goes in like that and sits on top of there like that. So you'll notice also that there's 3 different heights that you can set this at. You could probably actually, you could put this one on the lower one. You could get another one of these, put it on the higher one. You've then got double the cooking space. You can also get an extender to these that sits on top again. So, you know, if you're cooking for lots and lots of people and you need that extra space, then that's perfect for that. You've got here, this is a handle purely for lifting up the grid there. And you also have these handles here, and these are for lifting up the entire grid system itself. So if you want to take all of it out without taking the bits out individually, you can use one of these and you can lift the whole thing out like that. So really, really handy. They've thought of everything really on this. This is the handle, bamboo, that goes on the front of the Kamado. It's got the Monolith logo on there, stainless steel, very, very nice. This is the lid that goes on top of the Kamado. You'll notice that it's a wheel, it's like a daisy wheel. So you use that to regulate the temperature of your oven. So using the vent at the bottom of the Kamado, you either open it or close it, and that lets more air flow through. The more air you get in there, the hotter it gets. So the real trick to cooking with these is to master the airflow. So once you know how much to open and close those vents, and you can get that temperature to stay at exactly the right temperature, it will stay like that for hours and hours. Okay, so I've wheeled the Classic over here now. So I'll open this up and ever so quickly we'll put this back together. So here we go. This is the first part of the smart grid system. Straight on top like that, and we are ready to go. I'll pull this out now and I'll put the shelves and the top on so that you can see. So here we have the bamboo shelves, and they simply slot into the side of the Kamado like that, like that. There you go, you got one there. One on that side, and then you've got your vent at the top, and that goes on like that with the emblem at the front. And there we go, look at that. That is your Monolith Classic Pro Series 2. So a fantastic size. This is probably the most popular size Monolith that they do. You can cater for lots and lots of people with it. It also is probably the one that fits into an outdoor kitchen the best, I would say. We are actually going to be setting one up here. We've got, I don't know if you've seen it, but we do have an outdoor kitchen that we're creating down here. We're actually going to be cooking on. We've got extraction here and everything now. So we're going to be having one of these monoliths here. We're going to be cooking on that. So all in all, a fantastic oven. It comes in this black color or the burgundy color that you can see behind you. Lots and lots of different ways of cooking on this. It's a pizza oven. You can slow cook on it, you can sear, you can roast, you can bake. Just the possibilities are endless. So over the last year, barbecuing and cooking outside in the UK has really exploded. It's becoming really, really popular, and the Kamado ovens are right at the forefront of that explosion, just because they are so versatile and they offer so many different options. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. We try and bring out one video a week, and we do reviews about products like this. We'll be doing more reviews on other monoliths and pizza ovens as well, and barbecues. We also do walkthroughs of our outdoor kitchens that we do. We also have a Facebook account and an Instagram account, so if you want to see pictures and updates of what we're currently up to, we try and post on there a few times a week as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.